Hey everybody, welcome to Jen Lowry Writes. Okay, today I am announcing a pre-K through fifth grade poetry contest. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the guidelines, where the idea came from, where you can find out more information, and all of that good stuff. So, I love poetry. If you guys did not know, I have a poetry book, Clay in the Potter's Hands, Southern Poetry, available not only in ebook and paperback, but also in audio. I have been writing poetry not as long as I've been writing stories and novels, but it has been since 2012 when I wrote my first poem. So I love poetry. I love to read it. I love to teach it. I love to challenge other people to write it. And that's what I'm doing with this contest. So yesterday I set out to write. And I was like, you know what? Halloween is coming up. I want to just write a quick poem. I was not ready to go full length novel mode. So I pulled up my blog and I wrote a Halloween poem. And it was for children. And at the end of the poem, that's really all that was like in my headlights at that moment, was just me focusing in on writing this poem and reading it out loud and listening to patterns and the changes in the stanzas as if it would be someone's heart beating at different beats of their excitement. And so I'm focused on all of that. And then I'm like, you know what? I always have poetry out loud with my students. Well, now Poetry Out Loud is going virtual, and they're having workshops and they're doing things, in just a different way. It's like, why not have a poetry contest for my own brand? And that way I can connect with other children and inspire them to start writing poetry. And what better time of the year for me than to read spooky poetry than in October? So the Halloween poetry contest was born. And I was like, okay, what are the guidelines? So then that was some of the questions I started asking myself, what do I need in these entries? And, illustrations are great, but you don't have to draw, and it wouldn't sway the work. Then it was, okay, people just need to email me with their first name and their age and their grade level. And then that could be um, a way that I would be able to put them into different Google Drive folders. So that way, when I get an email in, I'll just send it to that appropriate Google Drive folder based on their grade. So I've already set up my Google Drive. I already have my contest folders ready. So I'm waiting on entries now. And I posted it up last night. I was like, okay, so I'm just going to keep it on the bottom of this poetry piece because that's kind of how it worked. I created a poem. At the end of that, it was, oh, let's have a contest. um, so I kept it in that kind of order. And it's spooky poetry. What else can I say? Halloween themed, spooky related poetry. Not much more than guidelines that you need, other than just to email me, jenlowrywrites@gmail.com, and I'll have everything up. That's going to be all over social media. I'm going to have everything here in the description. Please share it out with your families, your homeschool families, your teacher friends, and let them know. Because here's how I decided last night to not only gift winners, but also do some randoms too. I didn't write that all down, but I know what I'm going to do. So I will pick a winner for pre-K through fifth grade for every grade level, because I would never put up someone that is at like a first grade level and then try to compare them with a fifth grade level poem. It's going to be by grade level. So I did decide that. I also decided that each person would be awarded an ebook. So I would send them Ghoul School, which is so cool. So they would get to have Ghoul School, and then they could read along with me while I'm reading Ghoul School on YouTube. So if you haven't checked it out, I have chapters 1 through 7. I've already read them aloud. If you can't get access to the book, then you have it here. But if you would like your kids to do a read along with me, that would also be cool. So I thought about doing virtual author chat where I would get to come in and congratulate the winner for their poetry being selected. I could tell them what I loved about their poem and, have a quick visit. After that, I was like, what else can I do? Well, of course, I can showcase that poem all over my social media sites. So I would make banners with their poetry on it and post it up and have like a winner's reveal video. So I've been thinking about that would be so cool to have a special announcement of when I would make that call for the winners, and then it could be online, and then I would be able to share out their work, and then I can have honorable mentions, and I can also gift them as well with some ebooks. So I thought about doing some random drawings for ebooks when students would send entries in and send them personalized emails. So I've already thought about cards that I'm going to create on Canva that goes along with the theme that I chose. And so I'm going to share my screen a little bit for you guys just to see. So if you're listening to this podcast version, you can go on over to YouTube right now and you'll get to kind of see how I created the blog banner. I made it into a long blog banner for the contest. And so super easy pre-K through fifth grade Halloween poetry contest. Submit your best spooky poetry. Add your first name, grade, and age to your submission. Winners will be chosen for each grade level. And then I put they can win the book. Deadline for entries October 24th, midnight EDT. And email jenlowrywrites@gmail.com. And then inside of the actual blog post, I have the poem, I have that image, then at the bottom, I actually say, when you email me, you're giving me permission to repost your poetry on my social media sites with your first name and age attached to your poem. Make sure you give your poem a title. You can send illustrations too. I can't wait for you to share your ghoulish poetry with me. The winner for each grade level will receive a copy of Ghoul School, The Case of the Missing Coffin, ages 8 and up, easy reader chapter book, 2.9 readability, ebook giveaway, a virtual author visit, and poetry posted on all Jen Lowry sites for a winner showcase. Stay tuned for more contests this fall for children of all ages, including adults. So stay around, guys, because as the ideas come to me, I'm not sitting on them. I'm going after them. And so I also added the YouTube videos. This is the actual playlist. So it has chapters 1 and 2, chapters 3 and 4, and then chapters 5 and through 7 in this playlist of Ghoul School where I'm reading it aloud. So that's pretty much the children's poetry contest and ways that I'm organizing it behind the scenes. So you've heard how I'm taking entries, how I'm dumping them into Google files, how I'm making cards with this same kind of banners in the background with this teal blue and pumpkins in the graveyard. And stopping my screen. And I just want to tell you guys that I so appreciate all of the support that you guys have given me since 2018, and it has always been a dream of mine to be able to give back. So having these contests, it's a way for me to support literacy, celebrate poetry, and have some joy. So I'm excited. As soon as I put it up on Facebook last night, a couple of my teacher friends threw it out to their schools. They put it on their school website. One shared it out with their teachers right away. then they're like, you got more information, send us some stuff. So I tried to attach my blog to Facebook, and then of course it says it doesn't meet community standards. My blog has been removed from being able to be posted on Facebook. And I even went to make a bit.ly for them, and that one was removed. So then I was like, okay, I'm just going to make the bit.ly of the blog, because of course the blog, the blog URL is super long. So I went to bit.ly, made a shortened link, and then I sent that blog out. So that way it kind of tells everything that they would need. The only thing I did not add in that blog was when I was going to reveal the names. And so that's probably something I should have done. And now that I'm sitting here on YouTube, I'm like, oh, I can fix that. Okay, I'm going to put down here, winners will be announced on. And the 24th is the day that I wanted to get them on midnight. So that way on Sunday, I could have that whole day to organize them. So I might do October the 28th at 4 p.m. October 28th, 2020 at 4 p.m. And then I need to say live on my YouTube channel. Okay, and then I can link my YouTube channel. So as I'm with you guys about this, I'm fixing it up. That's one thing about making podcasts in the car on the way places with my phone versus right here, that it actually becomes a working podcast, which is good, right? That's fine. You guys put up with me, and I love y'all. Okay, there. I did it. Update. And then that's fine because the bit.ly stays the same. People open it up, they'll get to see that new thing. And then the two teachers that reached out to me already, I'll just send them an update when it gets closer, or when I start to get some entries in the email. So I'm super excited about reading some spooky poetry. And if you have family members that would love to participate, pre-K through fifth grade, have some fun with it. And I'm looking forward to it. So email me, guys. I'll talk with y'all later. Bye.